I'm going to make $1 million using AI to write my books. Hold on there, Speedy. AI is a brand new mainstream technology, and the copyright laws around it have not been formed or solidified just yet. According to an article on copyright.gov/AI, Copyright and Artificial Intelligence, the Copyright Office has launched an initiative to examine the copyright law and policy issues raised by artificial intelligence (AI) technology, including the scope of copyright in works generated using AI tools and the use of copyrighted materials in AI training. After convening public listening sessions in the first half of 2023 to gather information about current technologies and their impact, the office will publish a notice of inquiry in the Federal Registrar. In another article by the Harvard Business Review, generative AI has an intellectual property problem. Let me read a little bit of this article for you. Generative AI can seem like magic. Image generators such as Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, or DALL-E 2 can produce remarkable visuals in styles from aged photographs and watercolors to pencil drawings and pointillism. The resulting products can be fascinating. Both quality and speed of creation are elevated compared to average human performance. The Museum of Modern Art in New York hosted an AI-generated installation generated from the museum's own collection. Wow, say that sentence 3 times fast. Yeah, you can tell I didn't write it. Maharisha, I give up on that word. In The Hague hung an AI variant of Vermeer's Girl with a Pearl Earring, while the original was away on a loan. The capabilities of text generators are perhaps even more striking. This is what we're interested in as authors. The capability of text generators are perhaps even more striking as they write essays, poems, and summaries, and are proving adept mimics of style and form, though they can take creative license with facts. This is true. If you've ever spent any more than 5 minutes with an AI text generator, you'll quickly realize that all the facts that it spits out need to be double-checked with actual sources on the internet. The AI generation may not give you factual content. But as authors, we may not be looking for facts as in real legitimate facts. We may be looking for things that sound factual that make our stories more interesting. So it's less of an issue if you're writing fiction than, say, if you were writing nonfiction or just an article on something for a business. You would want those to be very factual. As an author, you could take a few liberties with your facts. Moving on with the article. While it may seem like these new AI tools can conjure new material from the ether, that's not quite the case. Generative AI platforms are trained on data lakes and question snippets, billions of parameters that are constructed by software processing huge archives of images and text. The AI platform recovers patterns and relationships, which they then use to create rules, and then make judgments and predictions when responding to a prompt. This process comes with legal risks, including intellectual property infringement. Infringement. Whoa. How do we get infringement with generative AI? Let me give you a crash course in how these large language models work. The makers of these pieces of software scraped the internet. Then a team of people tagged that data. You can think of it like hashtags. Every idea was hashtagged. If the article was about plumbing, someone tagged it as plumbing. If the article was by a famous person, the processor tagged it that way. Each little bit of information was given a tag. Then it was processed into the program. That's the short version. So basically, everything you're getting from your generative AI was extrapolated and interpolated from something that already existed. So now we're not just talking about who owns the copyright of the things you created with the AI. We're now talking about who owned the original content and if they are also the owner of what you created with the generative AI. So let's think about this. Let's say you create a large language model AI with all the text from my books. You sat down, you hand-typed everything. You bought all my books, you hand-typed everything into your generative AI program. You tagged everything. Then you asked your AI model to write a novel using that information. The novel you created is new, but it's based on my books that I previously wrote. Who owns those new books? Are they mine because you based them off texts that I previously wrote? Or are they yours because technically it's a different book? The laws surrounding this are not formed. The Harvard Business Review article goes on to say this process comes with legal risks, including intellectual property infringement. In many cases, it also poses legal questions that are still being resolved. For example, does copyright, patent, trademark infringement apply to AI creations? Is it clear who owns the content that the generative AI platforms created for you or your customers? Before businesses can embrace the benefits of generative AI, they need to understand the risks and how to protect themselves. As an author, you need to also understand the risks. If you create an entire novel based on AI, who owns your new book? Is it the AI model? Is it you? Is it the original creators of wherever the AI model got that data? As of right now, it's a legal gray area. There are currently cases working their way through the court system. Most of these lawsuits are based on that the AI used their original works without a license to train them in their styles. This allows users to generate works that may be insufficiently transformative from their existing protected works, and as a result would be unauthorized derivative works. In other words, as an author, you need to take steps to protect yourself if you're going to use AI to write any portion of your novel. You don't want an author coming back to you in 6 months, a year, 10 years from now, going, your work is not substantially different from mine, and I can tell that you used AI that is based on my novel, therefore your work belongs to me. And here's something else to think about. In an article on ART News, U.S. Copyright Office, AI-generated works are not eligible for copyright. Let me read that to you again. U.S. Copyright Office, AI-generated works are not eligible for copyright. A little snippet of this article says that copyright only protects creations made by humans, will be the guiding principle for future judgments of the registrations of works. When evaluating works submitted for registration, copyright officials will be tasked with judging if the original choices were executed in a work that were produced by a human mind or produced mechanically. In other words, was it produced by a human or with AI? With this judgment by the Copyright Office, it means that anything you create with AI is automatically in the public domain. No one can copyright it. This includes any cover images that you had generated by AI, as well as any text. Keep in mind that there are still ongoing litigations and that the final laws have not been determined yet. But as an author, you need to take care before you open that AI generator and write something or create an image, because it may not be yours. In fact, anyone could use it at this point, and you can't do a damn thing about it. The links to the articles I referenced are down below.